Hi Aquarius, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your monthly money and career tarot reading for the month of June 2021. Thank you so much for joining me, and of course don't forget as always to hit that like button, do leave me a comment about your situation, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But more importantly, when meditating on your Aquarian energy overall for the month, in regards to the subject, of course, the message that came through was staying consistent for optimal results. Staying consistent for optimal results. So we're going to do some shuffling and keep it simple by pulling 6 tarot cards for the month. So I'm going to do some shuffling this way to begin. Let's do some more shuffling for our lovely Aquariuses for the month of June 2021. Money and career. We're beginning with 1. What else do we have? Okay, Aquarius, thank you, Spirit. Interesting. Keep them coming, thank you, Spirit, for our lovely Aquarians. Second half of June, money and career. Okay. And we have 2 remaining, which we're going to keep shuffling for. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Not gonna lie, some hefty energies came out. Bear with me. It feels like something or somebody, maybe multiple people within your work environment, are leaving you feeling a little bit on edge. As you could see, I was getting a little bit flustered trying to get the cards back in the pile. But with the Fool at the bottom of the deck, rather bear with me, Spirit doesn't want to do the bottom of the deck for your reading. The 2 of Swords to begin the month and the spread. You begin the month of June feeling a little bit flustered, like I was saying, or simply feeling as if you can't fully see the way. Spirit needing to guide you thoroughly to begin the month as you try to seek for certain answers. I wouldn't be surprised if you ask yourself important questions at this point and you're not satisfied with the answers, feeling like the career choices you made recently weren't the best. And Spirit's trying to make it very clear to you, you're only human. You know, you don't need to expect the world from yourself, you know? Sure, there are people like your boss or coworkers or maybe clientele, whatever it might be for you, or whoever it might be for you, putting an immense amount of pressure on you to succeed or deliver a certain level of results at this point within your career, whether it's a business or a job, whatever it may be. But there's a feeling that you are putting the most amount of pressure on your own shoulders, feeling as if you should be doing better, producing more, just being a better coworker or a better employee or a better business owner. Spirit's saying to take a step back at this point in the month and release that pressure you're putting on your own shoulders. And you'll be so shocked to see that, yeah, there's still pressures happening from around you, but you're your own worst critic at times, and it needs to be minimalized as you make your way through the month of June, okay? As you make your way to the middle of the first half of the month with the 3 of Swords. So you make your way to the middle of the first half, and it's an emotional part. You can't help but relive certain past career choices and experiences and not be too thrilled about the feelings that come over you. I'm hearing don't question yourself. There's somebody you're dealing with at this time that is making you question your worth or question what you know intuitively you deserve when it comes to your finances and your career. For some of you who are working alone, who are entrepreneurs, it's your own mental state that needs the huge shift and improvement. You making yourself at times, not meaning to, feel as if that worth is minimalized And guess what? Spirit's going to do all that they can to uplift you, to make you realize that your worth is skyrocketing at this time, even if you don't fully feel one with it. And I'm also hearing don't stay in the same place, whether that means you need to up and move throughout your workday if you're kind of in a cubicle or whatever the case may be, or you need to simply make an adjustment within your career and maybe get a second side hustle, a second job, or move to a new job altogether. There's just a feeling that you staying still physically will add to the frustration level or level of anxiety. There's a need for you to get up and move and try to enjoy yourself, you know, try to switch up your daily work routine. And I feel like that'll help you shake off certain emotions and move towards a more optimistic mindset. We're making our way to the 9 of Swords. So you make your way to wrap up the first half of the month, and you're now making it to this point in the month and realizing that you're losing a bit of sleep over your work. Even if you're staying consistent to the point of developing the results you desire at this time, you mentally find yourself drifting to different worlds, maybe the ideal job for yourself, or a world where your finances are perfection or exceeding that. And Spirit's saying you're stressing yourself out. You know, you can see here the lack of sleep is not going to help you produce the work you desire at this time. Those results are going to start to backtrack, and you're going to feel like you're not heading in the right direction anymore if you don't allow yourself to get that beauty rest. Allowing yourself to rest your brain as well, given you are thoroughly overthinking more than just your job at this point in the month. And it's at this point in the month where a reminder will come through from Spirit and the universe that being you is plenty. Being you is more than enough. And it feels like you almost expect yourself to change as an individual 1000% in order to develop or produce those optimal results. And Spirit's saying that's absolutely not the case. You've gotten this far by being you. You know, your uniqueness, your unique approach is what's going to help you develop all you desire. Make your way to the completion of your goals and the success that you deserve in this lifetime. And you can see that I just started almost rambling, and it was a little bit hard to breathe in the midst of it. And Spirit's saying that's your mental state, you know? And if you start to try to communicate how you feel, or at this point in the month, it's going to come out that way. And so it's necessary for you to take a step back and breathe, my friend. I truly recommend meditation to find a way just to catch your breath, you know? It's at this point in the month where you're going to be pushed by Spirit and the universe to ask yourself, is the workload you're taking on productive, right? Are you able to produce the results that you desire with the amount that you have to complete? That's something to ask yourself, whether you're happy with the answers or not. Throughout the first half of the month in general, you'll be asking yourself an enormous amount of questions. We're making our way to the second half of the month in spread, and we have the 8 of Swords. So naturally, you make your way to start the second half, and you're doing some reflecting. I really see a lot of Aquarians looking at themselves in the mirror and not being too content with what they see. And Spirit's saying you're not helping yourself mentally stay focused or to stay consistent. You're allowing yourself to drift to a very self-critical kind of way of being, and it's not productive. Allowing yourself to stay confident or to make your way back to a confident state of mind in general, realizing that if you don't feel confident within your career choice, within your finances, you knowing yourself as an Aquarius, it seeps into the other areas of your life. You have to remember you're a very headspace oriented sign, and so if you don't have that kind of in a good place as well, that's going to affect the other ways of being. Just as if, you know, like I was saying, that seeps into other areas of your life. You're going to be asking yourself, why do I stick with a job that doesn't fulfill me? Or why do I allow myself to get to a mental space throughout my workday to the point where I can't produce quality work, or I can't just simply stay optimistic? So as you can see, the questions do continue. Asking yourself, how do I best adjust myself, my habits, my way of being, not even just throughout the workday, but in general, given it carries through at times late at night, in order to, again, create those optimal results that you desire at this time. Being aligned with the Two of Swords. It's at this point in the month where you start to see the way. Spirit saying you had so much reflecting to do, and it's not going to stop. I mean, it has a lot to do with you needing to step towards the healing process from your ups and downs within your money and career, accepting that a lot of which you put yourself through, right? And it's coming to these terms, coming to some of these conclusions, whether you like them or not, that help Spirit say, okay, and now that you're being honest with yourself and starting to take steps in the right direction, we can remove this blindfold. We can start to show you the way, since you aren't trying to see things differently, basically. That's the way we're going to put it. Allowing yourself to be one with the truths that you come up with. Once again, even if they're not perfect, or even if you're not feeling perfect, remembering that we make certain choices and we have to live with them, you know? You live, you learn, you grow, you move on. You're not perfect. Nobody expects you to be, so stop expecting you to be perfect as well. I feel as if that was not perfectly put at the end, but again, we all slip up, you know? Your wording at this point in the month is going to be a little off, so just be aware of that as well. Allowing yourself to feel good that this blindfold is being removed as you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But when you make your way to the middle of the second half, you're overthinking, you know, with this Devil. It's as well coming through as you overworking yourself. I'm hearing no more stress. And I really feel like a lot of you Aquariuses will be repeating this to yourself. No more stress, no more stress. But saying it over and over is just part of the process, you know? You admitting that you don't want to feel the stress moving forward is great, but how are you going to go about making that happen? You know, you have to remember that your mental state as an Aquarius is a huge factor once again. So, of course, there are outside factors, absolutely, and that you can work on to a certain extent. A lot of you feel obligated to stick with a certain job for financial reasons, or whatever the case may be. But it all starts with your mental state for you, you know, and that will truly affect your emotional state, and so on and so on. Allowing yourself to remember that as well, taking a step back and asking yourself about your workload is truly essential. And I'm also hearing, why do I do what I do? Why do I do what I do? It's essential for you, Aquarius, to get in touch with why you've made certain career choices recently, or why you're on the path you're on. Spirit's saying some Aquariuses are not on the right path, and a lot of these questions and certain reflections taking place throughout the month are going to reroute you in the right direction, all right? And when you are on the right path, you just know, it just clicks, okay? Being aligned with the Three of Swords. Again, you will not only be thinking back to certain emotions that have popped up throughout the month, or that you've been trying to cope with, but again, certain ones will become one with you as you overthink, you overwork, and try to adjust things in your favor. Now, you will see certain optimal results that you've been working towards at this point in the month, but it doesn't mean that there aren't, once again, adjustments to be made. Your way of doing things recently is stressing you out, and again, to tweak things will be most beneficial. We're making our way to the last and final card, where we have the Five of Cups. You finish off the month with another heavy energy, feeling pushed and guided to stay optimistic and positive in general, but for whatever reason, focusing on certain bad choices you made in the past months, or maybe throughout this month in general. Looking back at the month of June, basically thinking, I could have done so much better. In spirit saying, okay, it's a start. You admitting that is great. You're being honest with yourself. You're being mature. You're being the Aquarius that you know. It's a matter of you not dwelling and sitting in this way of being, and allowing yourself to be like, okay, not proud of this, not proud of that. This can happen. This happened. This can change. I'm going to change this. Great. I grew from it. Moving on. All right. Realizing June wasn't maybe the most productive month as you strive for certain results, but you can make your way into July, an improved new version of Aquarius that will accomplish all that they seek to do, or will accomplish all of the goals they seek to complete. Remembering that, as you can see, I just stumbled on my words and I made the best out of it. I laughed, I smiled, and it can still be attractive and successful. You, at times, focusing on small failures or small slip-ups and allowing them to grow into something they weren't meant to be. Allowing for yourself to simplify certain struggles and make the best out of them, all right? Learning, once again, from what you've been through. Being aligned with the Knight of Swords, you finish off the month, I feel, will do a much better job of, like I was just saying, stopping yourself in the midst of certain bad habits, routines within your work environment or even outside of it, as you drift to certain mental habits and states about your finances, your career. And I feel like it's a huge turning point as you finish up the month of June, allowing yourself not to make, once again, something small into a mountain. Making your way into July feeling 10 times better about yourself and your career and your finances, realizing you're only human and things are going to go uphill from here. All right, Aquarius? So I hope this reading was truly helpful. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you have the most amazing month, and I'll see you next time. Bye.